This is a very complicated picture, and nobody, I mean, everybody's entitled to come out and say, here's what I think my side is going to do, but it's a very complicated picture, and it's going to take a couple of days more to get sorted out.
Karl Rove earlier as Pennsylvania's Republican Senate race appears headed for an automatic recount. The two frontrunners, Dr. Oz and David McCormick, are nearly dead even, with 98% of the votes counted. Florida Senator Rick Scott heads the National Republican Senatorial Committee. You just want to get a candidate, and then you want to help the Republicans try to keep that seat, as Senator Toomey is going to retire at the end of this year. One of the things that Ronna McDaniel, the head of the RNC, said to us yesterday is she has one concern going into the fall, and that is that these primaries get very divisive and the two candidates tear each other apart, and that there might not be enough time to recover. She said that probably won't be a problem in Pennsylvania, but other primaries are a concern. How do you think about that, and how do you advise these races? I know you don't get involved in primaries, but they are pretty aggressive.
I think the candidates, it would be horrible to lose. But everybody's got to come together, and let's remember what we're trying to do. We're trying to change this country and rescue the country from what the Biden administration, what the Democrats have done. So we've all got to come together. If you lose, I talked to everybody in North Carolina, and they all want to come together to make sure we win there. Whether it's Dr. Oz or Dave McCormick, we're going to win in Pennsylvania, but I've talked to the other candidates that have lost, and they're all committed to making sure we come together there. And I think that's going to be key across the country. We've got to do that in Ohio, Nevada, where we're having it in Arizona. We're going to have contested primaries, and we've got to come together to make sure we win. The Biden administration is going to help us because they're not going to get any better. Can you imagine in the United States of America, you have women worried about being able to feed their children? And that's exactly what the Biden administration is doing. Whether it's inflation, you can't find baby formula, or a completely open border. People are mad at the Biden administration. So I think that's why we're going to have a big win this fall, and we have good candidates on top of that.
Yeah, Senator, when you describe the administration in that state, why do you think it is, when you can have this long list of issues that are weighing down on so many people, why'd that happen?
Bill, I think it goes like this. I was a business guy, and I watched competitors that would surround themselves with incompetent people in their leadership team. And that's exactly what Biden's done. If you look at the people that he's nominating, you would never, ever in your wildest dreams hire these people. And so he's got a bunch of people that work with him that have actually never accomplished anything. Maybe they've done some mean tweets, and that's about it. They're radical left.
If that's the argument you make, then why did that happen? No, because you're saying there was something structurally wrong with the people they're taking in to run this administration.
I think Biden's he's become radical left. He's picked people that, and he's picked a bunch of people that have never. If you look at their nominees, what have they accomplished? As a business guy, I wouldn't say, hey, did you give a good speech or did you do a good tweet? I would say, tell me your background and what have you accomplished in your life? Because that's what I need you to do. So take energy. I need you to get energy prices down. Okay, but he picked an energy secretary that has no idea how to do it. When she was asked about it, she laughed about it. I mean, you look at the Secretary of Transportation. I mean, I asked him, what have you done to help with the supply chain? He had no answer. Secretary Raimondo, I asked her, what are you doing on inflation? She said, well, that's a Federal Reserve's responsibility. So it's a bunch of people that have actually never accomplished a lot, and all they know how to do is blame people. So the Biden administration is not reactive. I mean, I was very focused on the formula, and I said, you can fly this stuff in from Europe, and finally they're doing that. I mean, look, Panama, Brazil, Singapore, Canada, Europe, they all have baby formula. Israel. Why in the living daylights doesn't America? Because we have an incompetent administration that doesn't know how to solve problems.
That one is a stunner indeed. All right, well, thank you. We have a lot to come with all of these primaries. There's one next Tuesday as well in Georgia, and we'll have Bill at the billboard for that as well. Thanks, Senator.
All right, bye-bye. See you, Dana.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.